I found a notebook that terrified me. Not because of what was inside, but because it was mine. A diary of a stranger who no longer exists. At Danza 5, I was a Leo. Everyone called me brave, fearless, and free. But beneath the success, I was just a man running from his own silence. At 28, I quit everything. I became a travel photographer to chase the world. I thought distance would fill the void. I was wrong. I was just running faster. At 35, I sold the company and moved abroad. I thought I bought freedom, but all I had was a new zip code for the same old emptiness. At Sharon, I returned home. I told everyone it was a fresh start, but in truth, I was just circling back to the version of myself I was most afraid to face. Each reinvention felt intoxicating, but only for a while. Once the excitement faded, I felt invisible. So I ran again and again. I was running from the most terrifying place on earth, the silence of who I really am. And then, my phone rang, a call that would force me to stop running. My mother's voice was enough to shatter the life I had carefully built. My father had suffered a stroke. Suddenly, my reinventions didn't matter anymore. The drive to the hospital felt like traveling through the wreckage of my own life. Every mile I put behind me felt like leaving behind another version of who I pretended to be. The man in the bed looked so small, weaker, older, nothing like the giant I remembered. We sat in silence, a distance between us that years of reinventions couldn't bridge. Then my father spoke. "Do you remember what you wanted to be when you were 12? It felt like a lifetime ago, but he didn't smile. "You wanted to be a teacher," he whispered. I stared at him frozen. It sounded impossible. That didn't sound like me at all, or so I thought. He described it perfectly. The books, the classroom games, how I'd gather neighborhood kids to teach them. Details I have completely erased. A version of me that had been dead for decades, suddenly alive again. I went back to the attic. Buried under years of boxes, I found it. A stack of journals I hadn't touched since I was 12. Each one a piece of a self I had spent my life trying to bury. I found the page. My 12-year-old self had written, "If I am impressive, they will love me." It was the script I had been following for 27 years. I wasn't living a life. I was performing for an audience that wasn't there. I stopped running. I stopped performing. I stopped waiting to be enough. For the first time, I just walked, and the world didn't fall apart. I realized he didn't care about the companies. I sold all the lives I pretended to live. He just wanted to know his son, and for the first time, I was finally present enough to let him. Becoming impressive was the prison I built for myself. Being Marcus, that was finally the freedom I had been running for